There's a darkness lurking closer than you think, maybe even behind the warm smile of a friend, the kind words of a loved one, or the supportive shoulder of a colleague. Not everyone who claims to care about you truly has your best interests at heart. Some people are demons in disguise, manipulating you, twisting your reality, and feeding off your fears. In this video, we'll expose 7 crucial signs that someone in your life might be far more sinister than you ever imagined. Brace yourself, because what you learn today might save you from a toxic presence you never suspected. Sign 1. They constantly foster fear and uncertainty. Have you ever noticed someone in your life who always seems to keep you on edge, never allowing you a moment of peace or clarity? They might claim they're just trying to help or being realistic, but in reality, they're stoking the flames of insecurity inside you. This type of individual thrives when you're unsettled, fueling your doubts with subtle jabs and warnings, as if they know all the hidden dangers lurking around every corner. They might point out imaginary flaws, remind you of past mistakes, or highlight potential worst-case scenarios. The goal is not to help you prepare, but to keep you perpetually anxious. By doing so, they gain leverage. When you're too busy second-guessing yourself, you're less likely to see through their manipulations. This perpetual uncertainty acts like a poison that weakens your sense of self, your confidence, and your ability to trust your own judgment. Before long, you might find yourself seeking their approval or guidance more than you should, because you've been conditioned to believe that only they hold the truth. They profit from your confusion, positioning themselves as the one who sees the world for what it really is. In essence, they become the gatekeeper of your reality. If someone in your life takes every chance to remind you of how dangerous the world is, or how incompetent you might be on your own, it's a glaring sign. A true friend, mentor, or partner wants to encourage your strengths and reassure you. A demon, in contrast, dances in the shadows of your doubts, ensuring that you never truly feel safe unless you remain under their watchful, controlling eye. Sign 2. They isolate you from your support network. Picture this. You have friends and family who've always been in your corner. They know who you are, appreciate your strengths, and support your dreams. But slowly, something changes once this particular person inserts themselves into your life. Perhaps they begin with subtle remarks about your closest friends. "I don't think they really understand you," or "I get a weird vibe from that one." Over time, these offhand comments escalate into blatant discouragement. You shouldn't spend time with them, they're just holding you back. Before you realize it, your once vibrant social circle shrinks. Your world narrows, revolving more and more around the person casting these doubts. They might even pretend to be doing it for your own good, warning you that others don't have your best interests at heart. This isolation strategy isn't random, it's deliberate and calculated. By cutting you off from outside influence, they strip you of any emotional lifelines that could help you see their manipulations. Without friends or family providing a reality check, you become dependent on them for approval, guidance, and even basic emotional support. This control over your social environment grants them near absolute power over how you see yourself in the world. If you've noticed that someone in your life encourages you to distance yourself from everyone else, especially those who care about you, stop and think. True allies want to see you surrounded by love, respect, and a community that uplifts you. A demon, however, pushes you toward loneliness and vulnerability, where their voice becomes the only one you hear. This isolating tactic is a hallmark of their evil nature, one that should never be ignored. Sign 3. They twist your perception of reality. Sometimes, dealing with such a malicious presence in your life feels like stumbling through a carnival funhouse of distorted mirrors. Every interaction leaves you questioning what really happened, who said what, and even whether you're remembering things correctly. They employ what's commonly known as gaslighting, a psychological tactic designed to make you doubt your own experiences and memories. Perhaps you recall a promise they made, and when you bring it up, they look at you as if you're speaking nonsense, confidently declaring it never happened. Or you remember them saying something hurtful, and they insist you're overreacting or fabricating the entire scenario. Over time, these manipulations blur the line between fact and fiction, leaving you bewildered, emotionally drained, and increasingly reliant on them for the truth. In such a twisted reality, you might feel like you're losing your grip. This is exactly what they want, to keep you unsure of yourself, hesitant to trust your own mind. Once you start believing you can't rely on your own judgment, you become infinitely more controllable. They can rewrite history at will, frame themselves as innocent victims or heroic saviors, and cast you in whatever role benefits them. Before long, you might find yourself apologizing for things you never did, agreeing with perspectives you know don't make sense, and living in a state of perpetual confusion. Identifying this sign is crucial. If someone regularly invalidates your honest recollections and experiences, or manipulates events until you no longer know what's real, you're confronting a demon-like presence. A trustworthy person values honesty and clarity. A demon thrives in distortion and delusion. Sign 4. They never accept responsibility for their actions. You'll notice that people who fit this demonic mold often have a remarkable talent for dodging accountability. When confronted with their missteps, be it hurtful comments, broken promises, or destructive behavior, they find ways to shift the blame. Perhaps they'll blame their childhood, their stressful job, or even you for making them do it. In their world, nothing is ever their fault, and any attempt to hold them responsible triggers defensiveness, anger, or cunning deflections. They might flip the script, accusing you of being too sensitive or misunderstanding them. By refusing to admit wrongdoing, they maintain an illusion of infallibility and keep you trapped in a cycle of appeasement and confusion. Without accountability, there's no room for growth, remorse, or genuine reconciliation. You're left feeling like you must constantly adjust your behavior to avoid triggering their outbursts while they remain untouchable. Over time, this pattern erodes your self-worth. You start internalizing their skewed narrative. Maybe you really are too sensitive. Maybe you should have done more to prevent their bad behavior. This self-blame allows them to continue their manipulation unchecked. Recognizing this sign means recognizing that healthy relationships involve mutual responsibility. Good people acknowledge their errors, apologize sincerely, and strive to do better. A demon, on the other hand, will cling to innocence while pointing fingers at everyone else. If someone in your life slips away from accountability, like a writhing shadow, emerging unscathed from every confrontation, you're facing the work of a true manipulator who refuses to step into the light of honest self-reflection. Sign 5. They exploit your weaknesses and insecurities. We all carry vulnerabilities. These might be fears we've never fully conquered, past traumas we've never healed from, or insecurities about our abilities, appearance, or worth. Someone with a demonic streak senses these frailties like a predator scenting prey. They zero in, gently probing and subtly picking at these wounds until they become gaping sores of self-doubt. Maybe they tease you about something you're self-conscious about, then claim they're just joking. Or they use information you confided in them, your fear of abandonment, your struggles with body image, as a weapon when you least expect it. By doing so, they assert control. Your pain, magnified and thrown back in your face, keeps you off balance and uncertain. With every weakness they highlight, they position themselves as your superior. You're meant to believe they are more resilient, wiser, or somehow above your mortal frailties. Over time, you may start to believe that you need them because they're stronger, more knowledgeable, or more capable of navigating life's challenges. This dependency is what they crave. A truly caring individual would help you heal, support your growth, and reassure you that everyone has imperfections. But a demonic presence seeks to deepen your insecurities so you remain trapped under their influence. If someone in your life not only identifies your vulnerabilities, but exploits them repeatedly, draining your self-esteem and making you feel lesser, take a closer look. That's no friend, ally, or partner you're dealing with. It's a predator feeding off your weakness and enjoying every moment of your despair. Sign 6. They sabotage your successes and achievements. Real friends and loved ones celebrate your victories, large or small. They beam with pride when you accomplish a goal and encourage you to chase even bigger dreams. A demon-like influence, however, responds to your successes with jealousy, resentment, or strategic belittlement. If you land a promotion at work, they might diminish it as no big deal. If you fulfill a personal goal, say completing a challenging project, they might question your competence. Are you sure you deserved that? Their subtle or not so subtle attempts to downplay or derail your achievements serve a singular purpose, keeping you from growing confident and independent. After all, a confident person is harder to control. But the sabotage doesn't end with snide remarks. They might create obstacles behind the scenes, forgetting to relay messages that could help you, discouraging you from pursuing beneficial opportunities, or planting doubts in your mind about your own abilities. Over time, this eats away at your self-belief. You might find yourself hesitating before going after something you want, fearing their judgment or anticipating their resistance. They want you to second-guess yourself because it places them in a position of authority, making it easier to direct your life as they see fit. Recognize that a genuine supporter would never seek to tarnish your triumphs. They'd lift you up and ensure you soar higher. If you notice someone consistently poking holes in your happiness or placing hurdles in your path toward success, you're dealing with someone who wears the mask of a companion but has the heart of a demon. Sign 7. They use charm and flattery as weapons. Not all demonic influences show their teeth right away. Many are disarmingly charming at first glance. They might shower you with compliments, lavish you with attention, or skillfully mirror your interests and values to create a sense of connection. This isn't genuine affection, it's bait. By luring you into a false sense of security, they make you drop your guard. Flattery can feel intoxicating, especially if they know exactly what you long to hear. They take mental notes of what you crave, recognition, empathy, understanding, and use that knowledge to weave a warm, enticing web. You'll feel seen, appreciated, maybe even a bit special. But these sentiments, while flattering, are hollow at their core, designed to secure a place in your life from which they can influence you. As time passes, the charm often morphs into something more sinister. The sweet words and tender gestures that once uplifted you start to be doled out sparingly, like rations you must earn. You might find yourself doing more and more to regain that initial flow of praise. Eventually, their flattery becomes a currency of control, granted when you obey their wishes, withheld when you show signs of independence. True kindness, warmth, and generosity have no ulterior motives. They flow naturally from those who genuinely care about you. A demon-like personality harnesses charm as a weapon, a tool to gain entry into your heart and manipulate your emotions. If someone's compliments and attention always feel conditional, if you suspect there's a price tag attached to their approval, you're likely in the presence of a cunning manipulator wearing a charming but deeply deceptive mask. If any of these 7 signs ring alarm bells, don't ignore them. Trust your instincts and prioritize your well-being. Surround yourself with those who bring out your strength, not your weaknesses. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe to my channel. There's more empowering content on the way, and together we can learn to recognize the light and banish the darkness from our lives.